Said everything will be okay.
Did you know that the movie 127 Hours was based on a real story? Believe it or not, but the real story is actually far more gruesome than the film itself. The character that James Franco plays in 127 Hours is named Aron Ralston, which is the name of the real person who went through this horrific incident. Aron Ralston is an American mountaineer, outdoorsman, and currently a motivational speaker. He gained widespread attention in 2003 when he survived a horrific incident at Blue John Canyon, located in the remote desert of the southeastern Utah, USA. On April 26, 2003, Aron Ralston began to explore the area. He didn't think he would be gone for more than a day, so he only brought with him 2 burritos, less than a litre of fluid, a cheap multi-tool pocket knife, a small first aid kit, a video camera, and his rock climbing gear. He was so confident that he wouldn't be too long that he didn't even call friends or a family member to let them know that he'd be away. He was enjoying exploring around southeastern Utah this day. However, while navigating a confined area within a sandstone slot, Ralston accidentally displaced a massive 800-pound chokestone. The rock proceeded to roll, getting wedged in a tight spot and trapping his hand and forearm. He knew he was in serious trouble, as he was 20 miles away from the nearest road and 30 meters below surface level. In addition, he didn't tell anyone where or how long he'd be gone for. He knew it'd be days before he was even reported missing, and possibly weeks before he would be found. He spent the next 15 hours chipping away at the boulder with the pocket knife he had on him, trying to give his arm a way of getting out, but after spending all that day and most of the night, he knew it was a lost cause. The next day he tried using rope from the rock climbing gear that he had in his backpack to act as a pulling system to try to lift the boulder enough to let his arm escape, but with no sleep, little to no energy, and the fact that he was literally trying to move an 800-pound rock, this was unfortunately not possible, no matter how hard he tried. He was physically exhausted after this hellish first 24 hours, and had little to no liquid left to drink, but was so thirsty.
Been putting a lot of effort into staying warm. I have very, very little water. My body's having difficulty controlling its temperature. I'm in deep stuff. Go out looking for adventure and risk so I can feel alive. Tell someone where I'm going. It's just dumb. I can't stop thinking about good grapefruit juice, or margarita, or an OJ, or a popsicle. All these great things that I would love to have. An orange. Oh, the tangerine. I can't think about that stuff. God, I'm really screwed. I'm going to shrivel up right here over the course of the next few days. God damn. It's really sinking in how dumb this is.
On Tuesday 28th April 2003, Aron realised that he had to seriously consider the possibility that no one was going to find him, and he had to cut off his own arm with the pocket knife that he had. For hours he tried slicing at his own arm, attempting to cut away at his own skin, but he was having a hard time even drawing blood due to how blunt the blade was.
Jesus. I tried cutting my arm off. I couldn't even barely break the skin with this stupid knife. I tried a couple different blades, and all I did was just mark myself up. I can barely even get any blood to draw.
After a horrific night, on day 3 when he awoke, dehydrated, hungry and hopeless, he considered that maybe he could stab his arm rather than slice it, but this was unfortunately another plan that didn't seem to work due to the knife being so blunt. In the next 24 hours, these were the darkest hours of Aron's life, as he was convinced that he was going to die down there and had begun to give up hoping. During day 3 and 4 of being trapped in the canyon, Aron Ralston, like his cinematic counterpart portrayed by James Franco, recorded farewell messages to his family on a video camera. The real camera that Aron Ralston used is the same one used as a prop in the 127 Hours movie. These recordings provide an intimate look into the psychological and emotional turmoil he experienced during those agonizing hours. The inclusion of such personal moments in the film adds a layer of authenticity to the narrative and emphasizing the human aspect of the survival story. He recorded a number of videos, which he has never shown to the public, except one of him saying goodbye to his family.
My name's Aron Ralston. My parents are down on Larry Ralston of Englewood, Colorado. Whoever finds this, please make an attempt to get it to them. Be sure of it. I would appreciate it.
Reports say that he showed James Franco and director Danny Boyle some of these tapes before they began creating 127 Hours. Other than that, the rumour has it that they are locked away in a closed box in a bank where no one can touch them. In a haunting detail reminiscent of the movie, Ralston also carved a heartbreaking message on one of these rocks in the canyon. It read, "Rest in peace, Aron, never to be found." This poignant inscription speaks volumes about the mental and emotional state that he was going through, contemplating the possibility of his demise in that desolate canyon. It was during these 2 days that he would hallucinate seeing his family with him, and even claimed to have dreamt about his future child. On day 5, he had to resort to drinking his own urine in order to survive, as he knew that he'd die of dehydration if he didn't. It was on this day that he realised, with the last bit of energy that he had, that the rock was positioned in such a way that it was pushing against his bones. This meant that he could break his arm by pushing his body against it, and then all he'd have to do is cut through the skin, rather than cutting through the bones with his knife. That was impossible by how blunt it was. He snapped both the bones in his arm, and then cut through the skin to escape. Faced with the unbearable pain and the sheer physical challenge, he persevered, showcasing an unparalleled determination to free himself from the life-threatening trap he was in. In his memoir and subsequent interviews, Ralston revealed that the self-amputation took over an hour of relentless effort. When his arm was detached, he described the process as a rebirth, but with the mind of a grown man. Once free, he now had 8 miles to travel back to his vehicle, whilst losing a lot of blood in his arm. He climbed up out of the canyon, then climbed down a 65-foot mountain to continue his walk for 6 miles until fortunately stumbling across a family of hikers. They rushed over to him, and then they called for help as soon as they saw Aron, which came quickly by helicopter. The total time that he had been amputated for at this point was 4 hours, and if the emergency services had come any later, then he would have passed away.
Hey, welcome. Hi, nurses. Figured it out by now, right? I'm the guy that cut his arm off. Yeah.
It's been 21 years since that horrifying incident happened, and Aron is now a motivational speaker, an engineer, and written his own autobiography named Between a Rock and a Hard Place.
Even from the very beginning, I was going to have to cut my arm off. I don't want to cut my arm off. That's a pretty rational response.
I can't even begin to imagine the mental and physical pain that Aron Ralston went through in those 127 hours, but I have endless amount of respect for his motivation and determination to survive. We make a lot of videos on the real stories behind horror movies, so check out some of them if you enjoyed this one, and hit the like button and subscribe with notifications on too. Until next time, horror lovers, peace.